International travel has been put on hold, and we don't know how much more time before tourism reopens. Joining me today on the show is Neliswa Nkani from South Africa Tourism. She's the hub head of India, Middle East, as well as Southeast Asia. She shifted base to India 2 years ago, but is currently stuck in a hotel in Johannesburg amidst the lockdown. She's truly missing India, butter chicken, as well as bhindi. Let's speak to her and find out what the future of travel looks like on CT Cares. Hi Neliswa, welcome to CurlyTales. Such a pleasure to have you on CT Cares, and I'm quite intrigued by your really nice background. It's already giving holiday vibes.
Thank you very much.
Neliswa, I understand that you shifted base to Mumbai about 2 years ago, but right now you are stuck in a hotel in Johannesburg since over 3 months amidst a lockdown. How did this happen?
So we were on a fantastic fam trip in South Africa with the top MICE tour operators, top corporates, and slap bang finalizing business plan. And on the 6th of March, we got to hear about the first South African case. And while that was happening, Mumbai was starting to pick up, or India. And while the bosses then said, listen, let's just monitor. And by the time we were monitoring and coming back, we closed borders, India closed borders, and the rest is history. COVID took over.
Now, Neliswa, I believe you've been in the industry for over 20 years, and I think this has been one of the toughest and unprecedented phase for the tourism industry. What are your thoughts? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never, ever in my life did I ever foresee that we would have to stop and just be. Never did I ever think the world would be humbled the way it has been. We were doing so well up until last year. We achieved like 95% of our arrivals. We were peaking January, February. We were like on it. We were planning ahead, because we think we're in control. And then comes COVID. I think the job loss is shocking. Lots of people lost their jobs, particularly the guides. We take it for granted for the tour guides. Job loss, income loss, the economy, because we call in tourism the new gold. It's the new commodity. So nobody saw gold melting in front of us, and the income just vanished. We went into total lockdown. So everybody was like sitting in their homes, the restaurant, even the hotels. Those who did manage to sustain and stay alive, they had to urgently shift the paradigm, shift the operations model. Suddenly you went from being a holiday hotel to being a quarantine hotel, to being an isolation hotel, to being a nerve center. So the job loss has been quite phenomenal. The economic loss has been phenomenal. The guides have lost. Restaurants have closed down. It's been quite. It's a sight that I would pray that I never wished to see or witness again in my life.
So I also read a report on how South Africa tourism has been put on an infinite hold, in terms of opening borders. How true is that, and what does it mean? What's the current status there?
We then went into a level 5 lockdown, no travel. Then we shifted to level 4, again, no travel. Level 3, advanced, is where we are at, where you can do intra-provincial. You can now travel within your own province. You cannot go to the next state. Our borders are closed for our sister countries, so you can't go to Zimbabwe or Lesotho. You can't go to Zambia, Namibia, Botswana. It's very intra, which is very in-focused. It's South Africa focused. I can't still go to Cape Town unless there is an emergency.
Can't deny the fact that India loves South Africa, and we have a lot of Indians traveling to South Africa, be it Joburg or Cape Town, every year. I want to understand how big is India as a market for South Africa?
So I'm going to tell you, we just came out of a working conclave, and our heading was India Matters. To me, it is the market because I've fallen in love with India. I call myself the Indo-African woman. It's a key market. So there are 3 key markets. Nigeria, China, and India. India is the market. That's where we're seeing our growth. We value the Indian traveler. It is a phenomenal country, phenomenal. The value of the Indian traveler can never be quantified because you love us, and it's got a history that goes beyond our age and our time. And therefore, it is a very important market. It's a key market. And I think it's going to be the market for South Africa in the next couple of months and years.
Well, I'm hoping that the borders open up soon so we can travel again. But from what I understand, a lot of countries are allowing citizens only from particular countries. Like, for example, Europe is not allowing US citizens. And in some cases, even Indians are not allowed. So has there been a list that has been formally or informally announced by South Africa?
No. So one of the things where we are at, and I always tell my colleagues, we're very conscious about picking and choosing because we come from a very dark history of where we say you're not allowed to do this. We are going to allow COVID at this point in time to dictate what and what we cannot do. Right. We have no list. We have, and I think COVID will determine who is allowed to travel where, because you can say, and we've seen this in countries like in Europe, where we say, okay, you can come to our country, then 10 days later, there's a spike. We have not taken that approach, and I'm hopeful that India will be in the priority list of coming back. And the reason is particularly India. Your resilience is very comparable to our resilience. You know, we have a very similar construct and we have a very similar deconstruct. So we are not a first world country where when something of this magnitude happens, we go into a fluster. We get through it. India's getting through it. And I think those commonalities are going to make it easier for the Indian traveler to come and say, this is our second home away from home.
But, so as and when we start, traveling or opening up borders, there is going to be some sense of fear. And I'm sure governments or tourism industries are taking innovative initiatives in trying to manage and contain the spread. So have there been any initiatives or guidelines being put together for incoming travelers for South Africa?
Yes, we've come up with the health and hygiene protocols through a lot of collaboration with our industry players, trade, South African tour operators. We've had a fantastic paper that was churned out by the South African Association of Conferences Industry, which is called SACI. We've had the restaurants have come up with amazing protocols. We've got the hotels, we've got our associations, and we are at the final stage now where it's now being consolidated. It's gone to the ministry. It's at the cabinet. We have shared some of it's been gazetted actually. We have shared some of them. And it's a matter of now bringing that document to life and sharing it with the consumer and making it very palatable, less laborious, and very easy.
Are there any initiatives that South Africa is taking to be at the top of the mind recall when people start making their travel plans? Do you have any marketing initiatives lined up?
We went and we found solace in technology. We thought this is the time to be bosom buddies with technology, and we brought in virtual tourism. It was phenomenal. Being able to see and be part of a game drive and people willing to pay to be part of a virtual experience, that has humbled us and taught us a lot about the importance of virtual tourism.
And do you think that travelers can now expect great deals and offers coming through from tourism boards that they should be looking out for? Do you think flight tickets are going to get cheaper, stays at hotels are going to get cheaper? Any indication in terms of pricing?
One of the things that was a fear factor for a lot of the consumers and Indian trade was the price of the air ticket, because aviation has been hardest hit. We have been given somewhat assurance that there is going to be a relook at the cost of pricing. We all have to recover. The industry has to recover. So it's not an isolation of the destination. The airline has to recover. And for the airline to recover, they need to make sure that they bring confidence to the consumer that value proposition is going to be good.
Neliswa, we are also in the process of making a bucket list of places that we have to travel to. And I know South Africa is known for its game drives. So if you can tell us which are the key locations, so to say, in South Africa that we should definitely be adding to our bucket list.
So I'm born and bred in South Africa, in Cape Town. I'm my ancestral, it's my home. It's the anchor brand for South Africa. Everybody's done it. If you ask me where would I want to do gaming, I would put four provinces. KwaZulu-Natal, Tanda Pinda Lodge, unbelievable. Woken up at 4 o'clock by elephants who come and they have a drinking splash at your pool. They come, converge at the pool. They quench their thirst first thing in the morning at 4 o'clock. They take their trunk, they throw the water on your window, and it's like, this is the time to rise. It's an experience of a lifetime. Tanda Pinda Lodge, absolutely child-friendly. It's in KwaZulu-Natal and affordable, exceptionally value for money. I would absolutely sustain Mpumalanga as the capital of wildlife. But I would make sure that I'm looking for those affordable offers, because the consumer is looking for affordability. Eastern Cape is amazing. And then the last one is in the Northern Cape. Very few know. It is a game reserve called Kgalagadi. It is borders South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and Zambia. It is magnificent. Very few Indian people go to the Northern Cape. Very few know about it. So it is a deal, because you're doing 3 to 4 countries in one game drive.
Wow, it sounds so tempting and exciting. I can't wait to explore South Africa. I had an opportunity. I visited about 4 years ago, and I spent a lot of time in Joburg as well as Cape Town, and absolutely fell in love with Camps Bay. The beach, and you could just spend hours there doing nothing.
It's gorgeous, beautiful. The aqua green water, the turquoise, the views, incredible. The temperature of the water, 5 degrees. You can't beat it.
Absolutely. Neliswa, you've spent a fair amount of time in India as well. So can you tell us which are your favorite places in India?
I fell in love with Kolkata.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But my heart resides in Mumbai.
Okay.
Something about it that just infuses life. I feel so at home. I love the spirituality of India. There's something that I'm not sure if the Indian community understand. When you get to India, you automatically at peace. You have to find the peace. It humbles you. It takes away your inhibitions of fear. It takes away your arrogance. It makes you realize the reality of what true life is. The ability for the have and the have-nots to live together without envy, without any negativity. It's an amazing country. It really has brought humility. In 2 years, it's literally made me reflect on what is important in life.
So what is your favorite Indian dish?
So I have a thing for the Indian butter chicken.
Oh, okay.
From it's an okra. I've now found the okra, Indian okra. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
We call it bhindi.
Bindi, that's it. Bindi. It's amazing. It's my I could eat it Monday to Monday.
Wow, okay. So I think, Neliswa, we had a great exchange of cultures here and a great conversation about how tourism can open up and what travel will look like in the future. Really appreciate you taking out the time and sharing those wonderful insights with us.
I would like to thank you for your opportunity and for allowing us to share some of our insight, but I'd also like to thank you so much again. I appreciate it, and all the best. Thank you.